All right, so last time on RPG, you guys fought a big ass fucking void water snake that was being controlled, or I guess, well, yeah, controlled in a manner of speaking by some what you learned to be very, very intensely scary cultists. But after sort of finding out the mystery of how this water snake worked, you were able to you're able to destroy it and free the people that they had enthralled to sort of summon it. And once all that business was over, you were even able to heal Larry, Thorben's pet lobster, who, after his heroic moment, finally was able to live on again thanks to the purified waters of the lake that you guys fought in. But so with that taken care of, you guys headed back to the city looking for answers about these cultists and some of the crazy things that Card Sharp had seen in sort of void induced sort of nightmare dreams. And the head of void research at the Mages College told you to seek out the dwarves to in the mountains to the east, because they apparently sort of chronicle void stuff a lot more thoroughly than other races, just because they have a bit more of a connection to it in some way. And we're going to start this session on. Is Cynical talking? Because I see him lighting up, but I don't hear anything.
I don't hear him either.
I put my mic on mute to eat, but it still technically reads input, so that was my chewing, but it was muted.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, so we're opening up this session with you guys sort of on the road. At this point, you've all been traveling for like you at this point you've been traveling for probably like about a day. You sort of like took a break to stop, and now you're sort of on your way for a kind of like second leg of the trip. And sort of you guys are all kind of milling about in your you guys are all kind of like doing your own thing in the wagon, trying to occupy your time, while Charles is just like, he's still completely out. He's like in like an extremely deep sleep, and it doesn't seem like anything you do is really waking him up. So
I kick him.
Give me brawn melee to kick him.
So one card. Oh shit, that's my. Oh man.
And
And it should probably go without saying, but restore all drive and health and dodge.
I reshuffled
already.
I'm sorry if I shouldn't have done that.
No, you definitely should have. It's a new session means new deck.
Oh, I did that for everyone. Because it was bothering me that someone else's cards were on my deck.
Am I like seeing something?
Is my thing not updating? I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I refreshed the page. Mine was from the old session. I haven't even refreshed it since.
Oh, okay.
You just had the tab open this whole time?
Yeah, it was just open. I do that kind of shit, you know.
Okay.
So
My browser resets it too, so that never goes away. It's like a constantly living in my head.
So yeah, brawn melee.
Sorry.
It's a good kick.
You give him like, you give him like a pretty solid kick, to the point where Pikachu and Card Sharp, you're kind of almost taken aback by how hard he kicks Charles. But despite kind of like getting knocked over in his seat where he's like sitting. There's still kind of no reaction.
He's out, boys.
Thanks for the confirmation.
So you
really have to kick him though.
I just, I mean, you know, if he's knocked out, he's not really gonna mind it. You know what I'm saying? All right.
So you hear from the front, Radimus, who is of course you chose as your wagon driver. I mean, why wouldn't you? He kind of turns back. He's like, "Hey, fellas, gonna take a look. Gonna take a bit of an alternate route. You know, I don't know why this. I'm looking at the map, and you know, the people at the last stop really recommended we took this route, but it's almost twice as long. It's a much more direct route from here. I don't know what they're thinking. I figure we've burnt enough daylight as it is, so I'm gonna take the straighter shot. Might be a little bumpy though. That's okay. If that's all right with you."
I mean, we don't exactly have seatbelts back here.
What's a seatbelt? So,
Can I, sorry.
oh no.
I was just gonna ask if I could strap myself down with a safety arrow.
Seat buckle arrow.
Give me ranged and engineering for a seatbelt arrow. What?
This is a huge flip.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one. That was probably the biggest flip. The most beautiful flip. The seatbelt arrow.
All right. I'm gonna say. How do I do this one?
Excuse me.
All right. I'm gonna say. Okay, I know exactly how I'll do this. You kind of like, you take an arrow with like a leather strap and like an interlocking buckle, a seatbelt if you would, and you just kind of like ready it and fire it, and it just goes soaring through the roof of the wagon. Just like you try to like make out where it could have. You try to make out where it could have gone. And you just don't see a single thing.
Oh,
That arrow, as far as you can tell, is gone.
That's gonna come into play later.
Well, wherever that arrow lands, you know, they're gonna be safe. That's all I can say. Safety arrow. One of my, you know, would have been more useful here, I think, that particular invention.
But what if they're trying to run away from something dangerous and they get buckled into the ground?
Well, I don't know. Okay, but I think my biggest problem here is that I forgot how to make that arrow. That was my last one. Oh, man.
And, not 5 minutes later, you all definitely wish you remembered how to make that arrow. Because the road is, like, very, very bumpy. Not so much that it seems like the cart is gonna break, but enough so to make the ride, like, very uncomfortable as you guys kind of, like, are bouncing up and down in your seats and, like, colliding with the hard wood again.
Do I have to roll to hold on for dear life?
I suppose if you guys want to give me brawn athletics to hold on to the seats, you can, but I won't make you because it won't do anything.
Oh,
I'm not gonna try them.
If I don't have to, I definitely will. Wait, should I get one because I'm healthy? If I only have one?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh.
Pikachu, you're a little, you're because you're a fair bit lighter. It's a lot easier for you to kind of like brace yourself on the seat, and just kind of like hold, and just sort of make yourself a little bit lower and hold on.
I'm stanced up. My Black Air Force has got so much grip.
But he still has the blanket gripping.
Meanwhile, Thorben, every time you try and like reach to find a handhold, it's almost comical. Like the second you're about to grab something, you bump up and like land again. Then you go for another one and you bump up and land again.
And eventually it's just like a freeze frame, my head's spinning and there's like stars going around my head.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Card Sharp, you're not even attempting to make this easier. You're just kind of like, you just sort of got your hands on your knees and you're just sort of hunched over and you're just like waiting for this to be over. Somehow not waking up Charles though. He's still fast asleep.
He's just flying all
while
over.
while his body just like is getting bounced around in his seat. And then after a little bit of this, there's an especially heavy thunk crack, and then the cart kind of suddenly comes to a standstill. And Radimus is like, "Well, that didn't sound good."
What's happened?
I don't know. You fellas want to come around back and maybe we can check it out?
Sure.
I fall out of the cart.
Alright, so I'm gonna say you guys all kind of make your way out. And you turn around, you get to the side of the cart and you see that one of the back wheels is just like gone. It's not even like it broke, it's like it broke off and flew away.
You wouldn't happen to have a wheel ever, would you, Thorben?
I'm gonna shoot it with a wheel arrow.
All right, give me ranged engineering for a wheel arrow.
This music's pretty good though.
It's the music I had when you guys were doing the mountain climbing. I thought it was still.
I was kind of half asleep for part of that session. Not like asleep, but a lot of shit went down that week, and I was just really tired. I don't even remember this music.
It isn't very big.
That's still 3 successes.
It does have to fit in my bag.
All right, Thorben, you ready a wheel arrow? You ready an arrow with like a pretty big like wagon wheel attached to it to serve as kind of like a medieval version of a donut for the time being. And as you're sort of leaning back, you're about to let the arrow go when suddenly you guys hear like the scrabble of like many tiny footsteps behind you.
What the?
And
hell?
Thorben, the last thing you see is a seatbelt tie across your wrists, like immobilizing you. Before suddenly you're just sort of like thonked on the back of the head, and the rest of you it all kind of follows in suit with the rest of you, and you're all like knocked out by unseen assailants.
Now I'm the safe one.
Alright. I'm gonna say, everybody give me brawn biology to see how easily you sort of come to.
I have 0 biology. 1 success. Man, getting a
My
crit on
crit
that though.
on this.
Pikachu fucking shoots up like he just got like
Oh,
injected
man,
with
that's
caffeine.
It's a terrible spot for a crit. That's a terrible spot for Pikachu's crit.
I'm a hero point, out of respect for the crit.
What? I guess we all
I
succeed
respect it.
then.
I'll even put a couple drive in there.
What are you doing, man? What the fuck?
All right.
Listen, dude, this is it. I can't be sleeping on the job, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hero it up. I gotta man up.
All right. So,
I'm not wasting any points on this.
you know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Pikachu for a crit. I'm gonna say, despite the fact that you were forcibly knocked out, coming to, you almost felt like you felt like you had a good night's rest. I'm gonna say you can temporarily put your health 3 over its max.
Oh, hell yeah.
It'll give you like an overheal for getting 6 successes on waking up.
You gotta give him a pity thing for critting.
Pikachu
This is like a
used
Pokemon-
rest.
This is a Pokemon's preferred way of sleeping. They get conked on the head, knocked unconscious, and it's like taking a trip to the nearest.
Exactly. To you getting knocked out and coming to is so natural that it feels pretty great.
It's been a while.
It's like a trip to the It's almost like a trip to the Pokemon Center. If the Pokemon Center smelled like absolute ass.
Oh God.
As you guys come to, you find yourselves in a very crudely made but considerably large like hut that is just loaded with goblins. Just sort of crowded around, just kind of like looking at you. Sort of like oh shit, they're awake. And as you guys sort of like scan the room, the goblin that immediately comes to your attention is a slightly larger goblin with just sort of like, he's got kind of like some sort of animal, like a wolf, like a large wolf's skull that's sort of like crudely fashioned into a helmet so that it sort of covers his whole face. It would be pretty intimidating if it wasn't on someone who stands about 4 feet tall. And then the what you assume to be the goblin leader sort of addresses you and just goes, "Hee hee hee, dum-dums are awake."
Hey.
I resent that opinion. I'm not dumb. You're dumb.
You've messed with the wrong people. Cartripper's gonna grimace and summon Dagonet behind him.
The goblin kind of starts at Dagonet for a second, but then he kind of corrects himself. He's like, "Hee hee, magic man no use magic on me." We have wagon man down below. He hidden. You hurt me, we kill him. You wander around in forest. You get eat by bear and become bear stink. This is met with like a lot of laughter from the goblin procession in the hut.
So, you guys own this region then?
Yes, we own this whole area. When big people come, we steal their stuff. Big people not come so much no more, though.
Well, maybe that's why.
Hey, please don't steal my stuff.
Me think about it. He capture you, so you help goblins.
Deal. I was gonna help you even if you didn't capture us.
But we.
I like the cut of your jib.
What
We
kind
actually
of help are
named
you
our-
looking for?
We.
Hmm?
Sorry.
What kind of help are you looking for?
Well, since no big people come to steal, we steal from other goblin tribe, weakling tribe. But they leave and we can find them no more. You find them and tell us where they are.
Okay.
Steal from another goblin tribe?
They weaklings. They
Yeah.
don't deserve no food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where are they at?
They
We
don't
not know. We not know. Last time we go their village, they all gone. We look everywhere, but they not set up a new village nearby like we would do because we're smart.
I was muted this whole time. Fuck.
Yeah.
So what were
Cartridge
you
just
saying?
kind of looks for a minute and says, "If we do this, you won't lay harm to our friends."
We know
Well-
hurt wagon man if you find weakling tribe.
Fine.
Hey, I still have my lobster, right?
Larry is still safe. I'm gonna say that Larry's.
Thank
I'm gonna say that Larry's safely tucked away under your shirt.
God. Where he belongs. In my new aquarium jacket.
Before we help, I want to see Radimus.
Also, is Charles with us, or is he with Radimus?
I'm gonna say that because Charles didn't come out of the wagon because he was still asleep, the goblins didn't think to search it and just sort of left him in there.
Oh, so he's safe at least.
And so they're kind of using Radimus as a bargaining chip, so I'm gonna want a presence persuasion for you to Pikachu, for
I
you
have-
to convince them to see where they're keeping him.
Oh, okay. Thought it wasn't anyone
was it,
can roll
presence
this, but
persuasion?
Pikachu asked.
Well, Pikachu is the one who asked, so he's the one who flipped.
Alright.
Two.
No, let you inside. Show you where hut is that he is inside.
Okay.
So you guys are. So he kind of like. He goes to the side. He kind of like talks in kind of like these very sort of rather than like the broken English he was speaking to you in. He speaks in what you assume was like a goblin language of very sort of like guttural grunts and snarls. And two goblins with almost comically oversized spears for their sides kind of like flank you guys, and he goes, "You go with them. They show you hut where we keep Wagon Man."
Thank you, Mr.
You call me Big Chief.
Mr. Big
Who would
Chief.
have saw that one coming?
All right, so you guys are sort of let out, and you sort of just as you're kind of walking around, you sort of just see that like this village is mostly just made up of like a bunch of like sort of cobbled together huts in various states of disrepair, with goblins just kind of like milling around, just kind of like not really doing much other than occasionally picking fights with other goblins nearby. And eventually you get to a hut, and your goblin escorts kind of like bark some orders inside, and then you just sort of hear some like sort of like scrabbling and like the sound of something being dragged up some stairs. And then a couple of grunts from inside before you hear a muffled voice just being like, hello? Is somebody there?
Hey, Radimus. Don't
It's
worry.
us.
Oh, thank goodness, you guys are all right.
We'll
Are
get
you
you out
doing
of there,
okay?
buddy.
Are you doing okay?
I mean, sorta not. I sure would not like to be in a goblin cave.
Well, you're not hurt or anything.
Well, not too bad, I suppose. Little scrapes and bruises here and there, but nothing terrible.
Radimus,
We have to do some grunt work before we can get you out of here, so
You'll-
just stay calm.
you'll be okay. They'll start eating your legs first. Be prepared.
Sure, I suppose I'll get ready.
Be brave, Radimus.
What are you talking about?
Hey, good, but I don't know what kind of job they got you guys running, but could you please get it done before they get hungry then?
We'll figure it out. And I think they're already hungry, Radimus.
Radimus, you just sort of hear some noises of disquiet from Radimus as you hear the sounds of him being sort of like dragged down back to wherever they're keeping him.
Why did you say that?
It's true. It's well-known goblin knowledge.
Is it well-known goblin knowledge?
Is it?
Wanna how
I'll
about you-
roll for this because I'm trying to think if it is.
Sure.
feel like-
Flip intelligence streetwise to determine
Okay.
if this is well-known goblin knowledge.
Okay.
I guess it's possible I could have read it in a satirical book.
2 successes.
Well, I mean, you don't know enough about goblins to prove it one way or the other, but you do know that they're definitely not picky eaters.
Well, let's get going then. I
They
think our
like the
best bet. I think our best bet is to head to the village that the old tribe used to be in. We might find
Alright.
some clues about where they were going.
All right. So the goblins kind of the goblins that are with you sort of they lead you over to the they lead you to the front of the village, kind of let you out. They cut the seatbelt that's binding your hands, Thorben. And
Hey, can I keep that?
sure, you can add a broken seatbelt to your non-useful items.
Yeah, just cram it in the pouch. Reverse engineer it later.
And they just kind of grunt some things that you can't really understand at you, and then just sort of leave, and then just sort of head back into the village. So, I will say, let's say it's let's say, wit or intelligence and survival to find the old village. Just sort of because you weren't really given directions or anything, so it's more of like
Oh.
seeing if you can track them. And
Nothing
anyone
for
can
me.
flip for this, and we'll add up the successes.
0 successes from me.
You should put your other cards back in your pile.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you had 2 successes there.
God.
Well, we got your healthy brand.
All right, so we've got 3 successes and a joker.
Hell yeah, we do.
Well, let's just say you as you're kind of like wandering through these woods, you get a bit of a reminder why you took a wagon and not walking, as you're kind of like set on by two fairly large wolves that just sort of like approach the party, just kind of like snarling at you guys.
Did anybody bring dog treats?
Did
I'll,
you?
I'll give y'all one action before this becomes a combat.
Got any steak arrows, Thorben?
Oh yeah, I got an idea. I'm gonna shoot an arrow with a rabbit attached to it. You know, in the opposite direction. Then they'll chase the rabbit. You know what I'm saying? Away
All
from
right.
us.
Give me ranged and survival.
This is it. This is the one.
Joker.
Ooh!
Nice.
I knew it. I knew it was the one. Do I go? I've only got 10 cards left. I shouldn't even hit a hero point. It's such
You
a bad
burned through
idea.
so many cards already.
He's been taking a lot of actions.
I'm feeling the power.
All right. If you're stopping it there, I'm gonna say that 3 successes is definitely enough to sort of shoot an arrow with a rabbit attached to it, just sort of off in the distance, away from you guys, that the two wolves see as like much more enticing prey and sort of chase after it while sort of going buying you guys enough time to make a quick getaway until those 3 successes from earlier do in fact lead you to a sort of like a smaller walled off like what looks to be, as far as you can tell, a goblin settlement, just by how kind of like relatively crude it is. But so one thing you notice is that there's a gate on the front with just this like big sort of banner written in sort of loose scribbles that appear to be some sort of written language, but it's clearly, you know, it's not something that you can just immediately see and read.
Can I attempt to decipher it?
Yes. Intelligence and streetwise to try and decipher this language.
What role is that?
Intelligence and streetwise.
Oh, I have that.
Oh, is that everyone?
That was a hero point.
I mean, I suppose anyone can flip this.
Oh, good. 2 successes to the Joker.
I got 2 successes. I could use 3 drive, but then I'd definitely also get a Joker.
A 3.
I guess we all know how to speak it or read it.
We all got one part of the banner.
I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm gonna say you guys get it. You guys get enough to sort of like piece together what it probably says. But I will say, as you are tearing it off, I'm gonna say, Card Sharp, you decide that you'd rather not touch whatever this goblin parchment is and get Dagonet to do it. And he does shred up a very big section of the sign.
Well,
So, what you guys decipher from what's next is It's we know and then like N-O, not like K-N-O-W. So we know and then a big gash where the paper was written and then away is what you got from this very destroyed goblin banner.
Fuck, dude. That would have been useful information.
Well, we can still look in the village. There might be more clues.
Jinkies.
All right. Assuming you guys are assuming you guys want to go inside,
Oh.
you push on the door and find like a surprising amount of sort of like it's not really budging. The door seems to be like shut by something on the other side for some reason.
Card Sharp is going to try and scale it to see if we can get to the other side.
All right, give me agility and athletics.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, did you ever say what your workout was for this session?
Oh, it's still the dodge one.
Okay.
Because that is just too useful, honestly. Oh my goodness, 4 successes.
All right. I'm gonna say you very easily sort of clamber up this sort of like wooden stake wall, like wooden stake kind of door, and just sort of like vault over the top and land kind of like very sort of acrobatically inside. And once you look up, you see the faces of many absolutely terrified goblins staring at you.
Oh, they're still here. Card Sharp summons Dagonet behind him for extra intimidation points.
Those goblins really do not know how to look inside.
The goblins, the goblins like that. The goblins that see you like either fall over or like run away screaming.
What do they look like in comparison to the other goblins?
Well, I know what they look like. What do they look like, Dingle?
What?
They.
Because I'm on the
look
other
to
side.
be-
You don't see
Oh,
the
right,
other
right.
side.
You're right. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm
No
metagaming.
metagaming. You can't know what your character
They're,
doesn't know.
I'm really sorry, dude.
They're a bit. They're a bit like smaller and skinnier in stature, but they're a lot better dressed. Whereas the other ones pretty much were just in like loincloths and war paint. These ones seem to actually have like semi-competently for goblins sewn together like hide pelts and stuff.
Card Sharp will do away with Dagonet.
As you dissummon Dagonet, you notice that like from the other end, like a couple of goblins with like crude weapons, as well as like another sort of like again a slightly larger goblin, kind of like approach you from the other side of the village, run up to you from the other side of the village. The goblin guards, or the ones with weapons, while they have them pointed in your direction, they're like visibly shaken and are just sort of like their weapons are like trembling in their hands as they're pointing them at you.
Are you the leader? He says to the slightly larger one.
Yes, my name is Warty Ears. Please, I don't know what you're here for, but we haven't caused any trouble. It's the other goblins that raided the caravans. Please, don't hurt us.
Okay, here's the thing. What was his name? Pointy Ears?
Warty Ears.
Wordy Ears. We have a bit of a complicated situation. Me and my friends were ambushed by said goblins, and now they have our friend hostage. And the only reason that we're here right now is we agreed to tell them your location, which you're still here. They think you've left. And I
Yes,
don't know what's
yes.
going on now.
They're well,
Did they just not check inside?
They're just that stupid.
well, we
I mean,
Well,
good for
you
you
see,
for outsmarting them.
those goblins. Some of us refer to them as the dum-dums. They're not particularly intelligent.
I've seen firsthand.
We after many days of them raiding our village and taking our food, we decided to put up a banner saying we weren't here, and well, I guess their scouts fell for it.
Lord. I apologize for the scare. And now that I just don't know. The problem is I don't want to tell them your location, how you're still here, but at the same time we've got a friend in danger that we can't afford to. I don't know. If we tried fighting our way out, then it probably would have ended badly for our friend who's still back at the dum-dum camp.
You say we. Are you referring to your glowing friend that I was told you had?
Oh, I apologize about that. That is part of my magic. By us, I mean I have two friends on the other side of the door, because, again, we were captured by the dum-dums.
Yeah, did I hear the... Sorry.
I'm gonna say when you say that there's other people with you, he's sort of like, are they? You seem to be friendly. Are they friendly?
One of them's an idiot, but he's friendly enough.
Yeah. Why
He
would you
very
say
ki-
that about Pikachu?
He very kind of tentatively calls to one of the goblins by the door to kind of unblock it and open it up.
Again, we're sorry about the trouble. We're just been thrown into all of this. We were just on our way to the Dwarven city.
I
We got ambushed on this route.
put away the dynamite arrow.
I don't think our driver knew about the goblins in the area.
Man, this music got way too intense.
Yeah.
It's
I was
so
about to say.
intense.
I'm gonna stop the music for a second. I can't even focus.
Yeah.
I can't even focus with this.
This is more like final boss of the Ark music.
Yeah, really. I did not realize that song got so crazy. Well, he kind of looks around and he's just, well, please don't tell them we're here.
I don't want to, and I don't think we will, but at the same time, we just don't know what to do about our friend who's still being taken hostage by them.
It's hard to say. Well, they're not very bright, but they're ruthless. We used to be a part of that camp, but so many of the goblins they're so reckless and loud. They weren't suited for hunting or trapping at all. But when those of us that did brought home food from catches, well, we couldn't exactly keep them from eating all of what we took. We thought it would stop when we left the village and started our own, but then they just kept coming to us. We were at our wits' end. And honestly, I'm not sure how much longer that banner will stop them from entering the village and checking and seeing if we're actually here. They're dumb, but they're not that dumb.
Well, you used to be a part of them. Do you know of anything we could do to get our friend out of there? I don't know. If we could just avoid all the conflict, that would be preferable, because the leader made a threat that the second we harm him, our friend is dead.
He would. He's always been like that.
But we just need to get him out of there. He's being held in What did they say earlier? Was it like a lower part of the cave or whatever?
From as far as you could tell, it was like a hut that like led underground.
He was being held at a hut that was led underground.
Well, we could just go murder him.
But we don't know what's happened as soon as we start something. If they, again, what if they
Well-
know immediately that we started attacking them and they just kill Radimus?
No, listen. Okay, so what we do, right? I just came up with this idea because these guys are pretty cool. They're pretty chill. I tell them, I go up to the leader of these goblins. I say, I'm willing to help you out. Here's my business card, and I hand him the postcard from the Thirsty Goblin. I say that's our home base, and we named it after your kind, because
They're not stupid.
because we fight for goblin rights.
What? That's just
Okay.
a pub in the capital of the city, you idiot.
I don't know what this guy's talking about. That's our home base.
Don't listen to this.
It is
moron.
also a pub in the capital city.
I was talking to him first.
Huh? Well,
I'm really-
I'm gonna help this guy.
I'm really interested to see where Brown is going with this.
So like, I want to help you guys get on your feet. You know what I mean? And these other goblins, they seem like they're basically just holding you back in the long run. So we just go over there, right? We tell them that we just lie about wherever you are. So they're pretty stupid, right? They go, I bet, and they go off to raid you. You know what I mean? We murder whoever is guarding our boy Radimus and get him out of there. They're kind of like, honestly, I know they fucked you guys up, but I mean, look at us. I kind of flex a little bit.
Lita,
We're basically Greek gods. So like, if you just set up an ambush over there, you know what I mean? That once the dum-dums get it in their head that they're going to come raid you,
what is the leader's name again?
we just
Woody
shoot them.
Ears?
Wordy ears.
Woody Ears, I have a question. The other tribe you consider stupid, what we've seen firsthand. Would they be stupid enough to literally walk off a cliff? What if we just told them they were over there and just point, like, what if we just find some cliff, tell them that, lead them there, they just run off it or something? Are they as stupid as flightless birds?
I doubt it would be that easy.
Oh man, if only we had some sort of magician to cast an illusion.
Wait. Can I make illusions with void magic?
Maybe one that a goblin would fall for?
Oh.
I don't know. That seems like more of a force magic thing. I mean, you could set up like a Looney Tunes-esque like paint over the bridge, but it would be pitch black. Like I'm gonna say that you can like you can conjure like you can definitely conjure stuff, but it will be like totally black if you're conjuring it with void magic. Or like black or dark purple.
Wordy is, you said your tribe was good with traps. Did you not?
Yes, we're not very skilled as warriors, but
That's what I'm
for
saying.
certain small game, we can fashion some traps to.
What if we fashioned traps for the other tribe and led them to them?
Yeah, let's just kill them like fucking animals, dude.
Would you please stop talking so crassly?
They're just goblins, dude.
You just said that in front of a goblin tribe that's been showing us hospitality.
I whisper.
I smack him in the back of the head. I'm fucking sick and tired of hearing
He
Thorben.
just Wardier is just kind of like, I thought you were a goblin sympathizer.
I am. I fucking love goblins. I want to see
Thorben,
I want to see them on the
shut
rise.
the fuck up, please.
Why do you think I named my home base the Thirsty Goblin?
Can I punch Thorben? like in the face.
Give me brawn melee.
One success.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say no damage incoming, but I'm gonna say you do sort of you do sort of hit Thorben. Yeah, not like a damage hit, but Thorben, you are kind of like socked in the nose.
Let me finish talking.
All right.
Woody Ears, would you and your tribe be able to fashion traps for the other goblins to fall into? I know you're not much of people of war, but if they were in traps, then you could just decide what to do with them without resorting to violence.
Well, our traps are more designed for small game, but I suppose if you wanted to take a look at them and see if there was some way you could alter them.
Feel free.
So he kind of he leads you over to a hut where there's sort of like there's a bunch of goblins just sort of like fashioning just sort of like nooses and like very very crude kind of like snare like clamp traps. They're all they're all like pretty like small and unimpressive, but all the parts are there to potentially like make them a little bit to make them a little bit stronger for, maybe capturing something that's goblin size.
Thorben, you're a bit of an engineer. Why don't you teach these goblins how to improve their traps if you take a look at them? That way, even after all this, they could catch more game if you teach the engineers or the builders to improve their designs.
Can I do that? Can I teach them to improve their trap making abilities?
Not just
Yeah.
for one time, but for just because I feel bad for these guys.
Give me
Goblins.
give me intelligence and engineering to sort of give the goblin trap makers a lecture on the finer points of trapping.
Can I just can I pull from the bros deck just to make it more suspenseful?
No.
Damn it, dude. That was going. What was it again? Okay, I remember. So,
I think you've got
6 more.
yes, 6 more because you are healthy.
Should we maybe anti-Joker this? Because this would be helpful.
Well, as far as
Depends
I'm
on-
concerned, there's only there's 2 successes there.
Would 2 successes be enough, Dingle? Because I want to know if anti-Joking this would be worth it or not.
I mean, 2 successes isn't amazing, but Thorben's still got a lot of drive and hero points, I think.
You're right.
I'm afraid of. Yeah, you should use some, and then let's see if we can.
I think we should keep the Joker, but I should also use a hero point.
Well, the Joker just ruins stuff.
Does it?
Yeah.
Just ruin things?
No matter how many successes you have, you can't outweigh a Joker, which is why I'm wondering. Roll a bit more.
I might
Oh.
I might have a creative.
You never know, dude.
I might have a creative
Well, I
idea.
just don't want to
this
fuck
Joker.
these guys up like too hard because I feel bad for them.
Oh. There we go, dude. That's good enough for me, I think.
All right, so right now we're looking at 3 successes and a Joker. What are you guys feeling?
I mean, if we help the goblins out now, maybe they can help. Maybe they'd. I don't know.
We're
Who
helping
is
these
the- who
goblins
is
out.
the
These guys are the
anti-Joker?
boys. That's it.
Actually,
Oh,
Or
yeah,
maybe it was.
sure.
all right. This is a one-off, so I don't know how high the stakes are. Well, besides Radimus' life, of course.
I don't know how high the stakes are.
Okay, yeah. So 3 successes, and I guess we're anti-Joker, and
We're helping
know
with
these-
this. we're helping with the future of goblin kind right
And
here.
who knows, these goblins could help us in the future in some weird story way if Dingo remembers they exist.
No, we gotta help them, dude. Become like
That's what I mean. I mean, they'll help us later, possibly.
well, I'm saying like we gotta set up trade posts and diplomatic deals and stuff.
So you just teach them the whole thing. So you did it
All right.
successfully, I guess.
Yeah, so you go through and you kind of like you show them sort of like better ways to counterbalance their snare traps so that more things can do. You show them kind of like how to make you basically you show them how to make like sort of improvised bear traps with the sort of like metal and like bits of spring that they have in this
Yes.
hut. You sort of you describe like pitfall traps, like the ones where you sort of like cover a hole up with some like leaves and they
What
just
about-
fall in.
What about bowery? Can I show them how to make bows?
That doesn't really count as trapping.
Ooh,
does it?
nah, that's a little bit much for
Yeah, I
3
don't-
successes on teaching them how to make traps.
Damn it. Okay, that's fine. No, it's all right.
You do show them you do for just for good measure. You show them some Looney Tunes esque like rock on a stick traps that
Someone's made
surprisingly
this
they
one
hadn't
small.
thought of yet. And the goblins are, whoa, hey, mister, thank you. These are you sure these seem really dangerous, though?
Oh yeah, it's for killing stuff. For like actually murdering things. Heavily.
The goblin kind of like looks down, he just, oh,
Well, it'll also
okay.
help you when hunting
teach
for food.
I teach them how to sharpen a freaking stick.
That doesn't really count as trappings, does it?
You
No, I
did
mean,
you did teach him pitfall traps, so I'm gonna say that sharpening sticks is included in that.
I basically just say you can stab things with these too. You don't just got to put them in the ground. You got arms for a reason.
So yeah, for simplicity's sake, I'm gonna say these goblins now know how to make some pretty fucking lethal traps.
Yes, goblins on the rise.
Brown's just raising another fucking generation of these like dumb goblins.
Now these ones are they're gonna use their brains. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna take whole towns hostage. I'll be so proud.
All right. Oh, that was groovy, probably, right?
That's groovy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the goblins now know how to make traps. So what's your guys' next plan?
I say we set up an ambush, dude. We set some traps.
We'll
Trick
lead
these
them
other
to.
goblins
Well,
out.
yeah.
Or unless like you're saying, we should come to a more peaceful resolution. I'm not. These guys were saying they're kind of useless, like they can't even really hunt and stuff. They're just kind of dickheads.
Well, no, they're good at hunt. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know which one you're talking about. Fucking Christ.
Nah. Those other ones that stole our friend, they stole our friend too. So like, I have a personal vendetta against them.
Again, though, if we go in with our swords drawn, again, we don't know.
That's what I'm saying. No.
We just don't
What
know.
part of ambush makes you think swords drawn?
I just thought we'd lead them to these traps.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's a very good idea. That's kind of what I thought was going on. You're
Yeah.
out here saying we're going to draw swords and stuff. I think
No,
that's
I wasn't sure what you meant.
that's a bad idea. I don't think we should do that.
I asked the chief, hey, do we have any like spare food supplies that you could use as bait? Because we don't want to lead them to your settlement. But if we say that we found your secret food stash somewhere, and then we set the traps around those, that could be useful.
Well, we don't have much of a surplus, but since the raids have stopped for at least a few days since we started the since we put up that sign, we do have some to spare.
Doesn't have to be too much.
I will tell them to supply what we can. I will tell them to supply what they can.
But not any more than you can afford.
Yes, of course. I'm actually I have to say I'm a little bit hopeful. I think this could potentially work.
So where's the best place to lay the traps? Where we will lead the other goblins and say, "Hey, we found them. Come this way." Where's the best spot to do that?
Well, we can't assume that all of the goblins will fall for the traps, so we'll
Of
want
course not.
something a little bit more wide open in case a fight breaks out. Oh, there's a clearing over, and he kind of like gives you some directions to sort of like just like a little bit less wooded area in like sort of like a little bit less dense trees, but still sort of dense enough to where traps can definitely be set up. That seems like a good enough spot. You just tell them to go there and
Give me a sec. I'll be.
okay.
What happened? What I missed?
Cynical said he needed a second, so we're waiting.
What's Bug Snacks, dude?
PS5 launch
It's
title.
bugs. It's bug snacks.
And it features little bugs that are snacks. And it has a theme song by Caracaro Bonita.
Who's that?
Oh, you haven't heard?
They're a good ass band.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. I'm looking at the strawberries. Just reminded me of strawberry I saw, dude, in this movie.
Alright, I'm back.
Come back.
Yo.
Sorry about that.
I would also argue that bugs are already snacks.
Yeah, it's kind of redundant.
All right. So I think we left off at the at this goblin leader just kind of being like, okay, so I suppose you just lead them over here and hopefully the traps take care of the rest.
This clearing will run red with the blood of goblins today.
He looks the
We will be baptized in blood.
It's
Please
metaphorical.
stop.
Warty Ears looks very kind of distraught, and he just sort of goes,
Corbin, please stop.
yeah, okay, so we'll just set up the traps then while you go over to the other camp.
Always remember, keep in
Please stop.
mind who these traps are meant for while you're making them. Just saying, good luck. I pat him on the
What?
back.
All right.
So we're heading back.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I could stick behind and help make the traps. And you guys can tell the other ones that they killed me.
What?
I guess.
It would make the story more believable, you know. It's like you got in a fight with them.
What?
Ah, no, that's a bad idea. Then they'll be kind of guarded. Never mind. Forget I said that. Let's keep moving, folk.
Okay.
You can say you were guarding the stash if you do want to stay behind.
Ooh, that's a good idea too.
So me and Kaichar can go back, I guess.
Did we actually put a stash out here? Like, is there actual food?
I think they're gonna bring a stash over and set up a bunch of traps while you guys are heading over to the other village.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll stick back and you tell them I'm here guarding it. I'll help set up the traps
Okay.
Okay.
if that's cool with the rest.
We're
of
not
them.
setting up the traps inside the place, are we?
No,
It's in the clearing area.
Okay.
There's like a clearing that's like that just sort of is like very well situated for both trap making and a fight if it potentially breaks out.
I'm also going to make sure there's one spot in the clearing where none of the traps are or will hit, and I'm just going to put a stool there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So let's say so you go with the so Thorben, you go with the goblins and bring like the supplies. Card Sharp and Pikachu, you head back to the Dum Dum village. We're gonna start with your perspective, just because it's the most sort of immediate. So you guys head back over. You guys head back over to the village, and the goblins there kind of like levy what what appear to be like just sort of like they just have like various like stolen weapons. So like they're obviously not goblin make, but they just like sort of have random assortments of weapons with varying degrees of goblin friendliness. And they kind of point them at you and kind of like start like yelling at you in sort of like a language that you don't understand before they sort of realize who you are.
Hey, we return with good news.
We found the goblins, the other camp. They're just past this open clearing.
They just sort of like they kind of like they sort of like look to each other, not really getting what you're saying, and then just sort of like grab your hands and try and like drag you along.
They go with it, I guess.
Yeah. And eventually you get back to Big Chief's hut.
Big
and
Chief.
He just sort of stands up. He goes, "Ah, big people back. You find weaklings."
We did
We
not find the
have-
weaklings, but we found their food supply in a clearing nearby.
You big people are dumb. We said find weaklings.
But if we eliminate their food supply, then they won't be able to feed themselves, and they'll die out.
Or they'd have to come out of hiding.
Give me.
Oh Lord.
I'd say you both said this. Give me intelligence and persuasion from both of you, and we'll add the successes together.
Healthy persuasion. 2 successes. So 3 in total. Shouldn't be that hard. These guys are as dumb as bricks.
They sure are. He's kind of like, Maybe big people, not so dumb after all. You almost as smart as Big Chief.
I'm honored.
Thanks.
Okay, we go. I bring group of goblins over to food supply. You come too. Show us where is.
All right.
I think we should bring every goblin from this camp. I think it's quite a big supply, so we should there's safety in numbers, Big Chief.
Can never be too careful.
Give me another intelligence and persuasion.
I am terrified. I think I have like a Joker stashed away somewhere.
I think I do too.
I got a crit
shit.
though. Oh lord.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Okay.
Let's not push our luck
clenched-
any longer.
I
Let's not
clenched
push our
my
luck
ass
any longer.
so hard.
Oh god.
So how persuasive was Card Sharp, Dingle?
You're 2 charm, right?
Yeah.
You give like a very convincing sort of you basically tell him that like the stash is so big that not even like 100 goblins could carry it all back. So it's really important that if they want to bring it back to their camp in any amount of time, they need to bring the whole camp. And Pikachu, you with 1 success, you kind of just chime in and
He goes like, yeah.
Yeah.
you're kind of just like, yeah, man, it's big.
I pat Pikachu on the head for the help.
If it's so big that we need many, many big goblins to carry. Okay, we all go. And he just sort of he just kind of like yells like really loud, and just like probably like anywhere between like 30 to 40 goblins like crams into this hut when the chief calls. And he kind of like shouts them at him in goblin language, and they all just sort of get like very, very excited and are just sort of like yelling and jumping up and down and kind of like waving their weapons around. And then he kind of he turns back to you and goes, "Okay, big people, you go. You lead us to food.
All right, this way, gentlemen.
And don't think you getting any. This goblin food only."
Yep.
All right. So you start leading the way, and then we're gonna go over to Thorben. So the trap making is kind of the sort of preparation is sort of starting here. And Thorben, why don't you start by giving me sort of like intelligence and engineering to make a few traps yourself.
So many fucking cards.
Oh my god.
Crit.
Oh shit.
Okay. With the high crit though. Wait, how high is your crit?
It's extremely low.
It's 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the crit still helps.
Well, I mean, I can just always, bust one of these bad boys out. I think I've already used 2 of them, haven't
Please don't choke her.
Yes, you have.
Please don't choke her.
I? What am I at? 4? Oh, yeah, whatever, dude. Fuck, I'll use my last drive too.
Come on! I said don't push it.
Let's go.
Why?
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do,
So
It would have been worse if I used it on my next roll. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say with those 3 successes, you do make like a bunch of traps, make just like a bunch of just like different sort of like traps and sort of lay them and sort of like hand them over to the goblins and kind of just sort of, you know, just sort of show them how they work.
Uh-uh.
However, while demonstrating to one of them how one of the makeshift bear traps work, you do press a little too hard on the pressure plate. So go ahead and take 1 damage undodgeable as like a bear trap snaps on your hand.
Just breaks my fucking arm. Oh god! Oh dear god! That's how you know it's working.
You say as there's a fucking trap around your arm. Alright. So the goblins are kind of setting them up. As they're sort of setting them up, though, you notice that like a lot of them are not really hiding them super well, and like they're setting them up kind of the way they would set them up for an animal, which is sort of like kind of like the bare minimum of hiding.
Hey guys, you gotta put a bit more finesse into it. You know, like sprinkle a little, sprinkle some mushrooms on top. You know what I'm saying? Some
Give me
some old leaves.
give me intelligence and survival to kind of sort of guide their trap setting a little bit more.
And I ain't healthy no more.
Nope.
I got 1. I mean, I guess I could use my last hero point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is kind of heroic. You know what I mean? I feel like it's heroic to help people.
Sure is.
I mean, even if they are goblins, so they're not even really people.
I'm gonna be right back, but carry on this section without me.
All right. So yeah, you're kind of just like, listen, I know these guys are pretty stupid, but you got to hide it a little bit better than that. And you kind of start like lead by example, kind of like setting up some of the traps that you made in like ways that are like using some like brush to hide them and sort of like placing leaves on the pitfalls in a little bit more natural way. And
slowly guiding the goblin's hands.
you're like you're behind one goblin like that scene in Ghost, and you're like leading his hands with the trap from my back.
Oh man.
And so then once the traps are all set up, the goblins are kind of like okay, well, there's all the traps set up. We're just yeah, they're kind of like stammering for words as they sort of like back away. It seems like the goblins want absolutely no part in whatever happens with these traps or what happens after them. So you can either let them go or give me give me a sort of like a charm or presence and empathy flip to try and
Go
like
back to the
convince them.
village,
Man.
I'm talking to Bran.
What'd you say?
Let them go back to the village, man.
I'm gonna try to convince them, but only because I literally get to flip 1 card. And there's no possible way to flip more than 1 card. This is the 1 card.
All right, just flip it.
Ace of
Oh,
Hearts.
God damn it!
I
want
start
innocent goblins hurt, man.
I start throwing them fucking pointy sticks and giving them a Braveheart speech.
For one success, your Braveheart speech is mostly composed of "Come on."
Come on! Don't you want to kill some of those guys? Come on! Come on!
It does not rouse most of these very cowardly goblins, but a couple do pick up sticks and they're just kind of like, I guess
Just come out. Come
I guess
out.
we want to make sure. I guess we want to make sure they're all gone.
Yeah, stay behind the traps. Once a good few of them have been taken care of, you come out here, you finish them off, okay? Just start stabbing the wounded ones. Got it? Ruthlessly, preferably. Okay? I pat him on the back.
Okay.
I walk away.
All right. I am going to wait for Zedgen to get back before we continue with this.
He should hurry.
Also, dude, am I being too ruthless?
Yeah.
It's just like a kind of like a personal joke, or maybe like an inside joke. It's just like fuck goblins in their entirety. Like they're just murder them all, you know?
I do really like that. Am I being too ruthless? Yeah. I love that interaction. Yeah.
It's like bringing out the murder hobo in me, you know?
I don't want this to turn into a murder hobo
back.
campaign.
It already has.
Back
These
just in
goblins-
time for the murder campaign.
Yes.
Basically, what you missed was Brown helped the goblins set better traps, and he convinced like a small number, let's say like 3 of them.
Yeah, I imagine like 2 goblins.
He convinced like 3 of them to stay and like help you guys. And so, before too long, you sort of you take up sort of like a hidden position with the other 3 goblins.
I actually do you mind if I do the thing I was talking about earlier?
Oh, with the stool.
Yeah, I just basically get a spot where none of the traps start. I just set up a stool and I sit there because I'm waiting for him to get back. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Alright.
keep up face. I light up my pipe arrow.
So you're smoke. Yes, you are currently smoking a pipe attached to an arrow. Sort of like you're not holding the pipe. You're like holding the arrow shaft and just sort of using that to move the pipe in and out of your mouth.
It looks, it's really stupid. Like I do not look as cool as I think I do.
But you think you look awesome, so it's at least
Yes.
a little bit cool.
To me, it's cool.
Hey, flip one card to see if it's cool.
Okay, maybe it's cool. Maybe it's like a
It might be
pipe,
cool. Flip a card to see if it's cool.
because it could be like a pipe that's inside of the arrow.
Honestly, you know what? It's pretty cool.
The 3 goblins are staring on in awe. They're inspired.
I'm gonna say those. I'm gonna say, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say you have inspired those 3 goblins. And so, as you're sitting here, you from your stool vantage point, you see Pikachu and Card Sharp leading the way with like just like a bunch of the goblins nearby. And Big Chief is kind of like, "Who is that? Is that other big human?"
Sorry, I kind of zoned out. What happened?
We arrived there and we saw
You guys
Thorben.
are arriving.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
our
he was
companion.
keeping watch of the food while we were getting you, right, Thorben?
Yep, food's over here. I take another. I'm smoking my pipe. Just keep sitting on the stool. I wave.
You are too cowardly. Weaklings never try to attack you. They are too cowardly and weak. You not need to put a guard up.
It was
Well, I
more
was
for the
just-
bears, so
Lots of bears out here. I'm the only one here with any bear experience. You know, I'm the bear man. They call me.
Well, anyways, you goblins should get to getting the food ready.
He sort of like looks at the food that's there and he's like, this not look as much food as you say it was. Everyone, look around. There must be more food hidden below ground.
Yeah, it's all over, like in the bushes and stuff around here. I start waving around, like the arrow pipe. It's all around here in this area, hidden around. It's their little stash, you know. Especially in that bush, I point over to where a bear trap is.
So the goblins just like immediately start fanning out with just like incredible speed, to the point where before any of them are able to realize what has happened, almost all of the goblins are just like caught in traps, caught in snares, and like bear traps snap on them and they're skewered by pitfalls.
is the big chief caught?
No, it gets to the point where it's just Big Chief and like 5 other goblins, and he just goes, what happened?
Get got, bitch.
Big people trick us.
I mean, it wasn't that hard.
It was super easy, actually.
Yeah, you guys pretty dumb.
You've been got.
This is for the greater good of goblin kind. I hope you
uh,
understand.
Okay, let's get some pieces out.
Let's get some battle music going too.
As hold on.
What's going on here? What's this red pin for?
Yeah.
I think we were using. I think that was
Larry.
Oh,
I'm stealing this blue thing and using it as my stool. I think I'm black, right? No.
I don't know. Are you black? Why are you black?
Well, because it's like the closest one
can't
to
just
brown.
ask
Can't
someone
believe
why they're
Brown's been-
black, dude.
I can't believe Brown's been black this whole time.
I'm not actually black. I'm white.
I was making like a meme.
What? Some sort of racial joke, dude? I'm calling the cops. I'm calling Black Lives
Dude,
Matter.
a fucking reference to like a movie from 2003.
I never watch movies. Don't even know what that is.
No.
Alright. And if I do Stu
What the fuck?
play, will that? Oh no, stop clears the queue as well.
Stop is the best command.
No, unfuck is the best command because it actually worked one time.
What?
One time we were having like connectivity issues with Groovy, and someone typed in unfuck, and then
And then it-
connectivity issues stopped.
That's
Just gotta
amazing.
give it a stern word sometimes.
Groovy, me and you, we need to talk. You pull it into a one-on-one VC.
Alright, remember this first one is a little quiet.
Oh, the big chief got the crown.
Wait, so... Okay, that's Big Chief.
So it's Big Chief and like 5 goblins that just sort of, I mean, frankly, were a bit slow on the uptake and didn't immediately get trapped.
Lucky them.
Are we fine to kill these guys or leave them within an inch of their life?
At this point,
I mean that's up to you.
at this point,
Yeah,
the
I'm asking
larger
the
issue.
pie.
Yeah, at this point, the larger issue's been dealt with. So, however you want, man. You know, it's
Corbin's
your
got his
choice.
blood.
I have a Molotov cocktail arrow in my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna light him on fire, but you do you.
All right. So So Big Chief, I think, is gonna. So Big Chief, I think, is going to run forward at first. And is this Thorben? Wait, no, Thorben's in the back. Let me say he's gonna go for you first, Card Sharp. And apparently that skull on his head is as hard to see through as it looks, as he kind of like rushes forward and sort of trips on his own feet and falls over. The combination of like not being able to see very well and having a very big club made it pretty hard for him to move. And I'm gonna say.
Wait, what's these guys' initiative?
I'm gonna say the chief. I'm gonna say the chief goes before you guys, but after that, now it's your turn, Card
Because
Sharp.
I have 4. I don't know what you're rolling for.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm just flipping these now because I think these guys are gonna attack in like sort of a unit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna flip their cards at first, just so I'm not flipping for a ton. You can say what you want to do for your move, though.
Card Sharp is going to take out his dagger, which then he lets be touched by Dagonet to kind of give it like a void flame on the dagger and go for the chief.
All right. Give me Brawn Melee.
Okay.
Or actually, you know what? Give me Void Melee. That's
Okay.
more cards and it's cooler.
I know, I was thinking about that attack idea for a while. Like he just lets the blade of the dagger be like quote unquote blessed by Dagonet and then he uses it. I thought it was a cool idea. One success. I'll use a hero point. I haven't used any of them. Drive? My last card a fucking Joker? Yeah. Look, I wanted to get it out of the way, you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
That was like the opposite of a stacked deck. Fuck me.
Holy shit.
So 1 success, one
Joker.
one Joker, yeah.
That skull might be hard to see through, but damn is it sturdy. As you sort of drive your knife into it, it bounces off with so much force that your knife kind of comes out of your hand and bounces back into your shoulder.
What the fuck?
Go ahead and take 1 damage as your own void knife impales you slightly.
Man.
And Thorben, you're 3 initiative, right?
Yes, indeed I am.
You flip 1 card.
Flip 1 card.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna fucking get it. You're gonna get it, dude. You're gonna get it. Oh, you're gonna get it. I told you.
Ooh. All right. Thorben, you go first.
I'm gonna light the one in the middle on fire with like some sort of explosive flaming arrow. Like maybe a bottle with like a rag in it that's on fire, but the bottle has some sort of fluid in it.
I'm gonna say, Pikachu, you fill a glass flask with your infinite beam and hand it for the Molotov arrow. Give me a ranged explosives.
I haven't used explosives yet, right?
I don't believe so.
Oh, why?
Yeesh.
Why?
The classic explosion Joker.
Maybe I shouldn't have lit it on my pipe.
Oh man. All right. So. All right.
Oh, good. He Joker too. I feel less bad about my Joker.
You
3 successes, by the way.
You underestimate both the length of both the size of the cloth you shove into this glass flask and the apparent flammability and the apparent like added flammableness of this magically infinite beam as this thing just erupts in your hands. Take 1 damage, and you are on fire. So you're gonna need to put that out at the start of your next turn, or something's gonna need to put that out at the start before you take your next action, or you are gonna take another damage.
Maybe if we pour more beam on it, it'll burn out.
Meanwhile, the other 5 goblins are gonna rush forward. I flipped for them. I flipped for them earlier, and they cumulatively got 6 successes, which I'm gonna split between Dagonet, or Card Sharp, and Pikachu. So you guys both have 3 damage incoming. Dodgeable, of course.
Oh, thank God. I forgot about that for a second.
As it
I'm
now
back to regular full health.
He hit you in the same spot on the head.
So it's now gonna Pikachu. It's now your turn.
Is the big chief like still on the floor from when he fell over?
Yes, he is. He's sort of like he's gathering himself back up, but he's still on the ground.
I'm gonna try and wrestle the big club out of his grip, so I can use it myself.
Give
The
me
wrestle.
give me brawn and melee.
Oh.
And some drive.
What the fuck? Oh, it went there.
Nani?
A two.
You know, it is a goblin. So I'll say yeah. You wrestle the big club out of his hands.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna say you can add Big Chief Club to your useful items. I'm gonna say while you have it in your useful items, which means sort of like on your person.
Yeah.
It has +2 to melee flips while you're using it, but sort of while it's on your person and you don't have it like stashed away somewhere, it is pretty fucking heavy. So you're gonna flip 1 less on agility actions.
Alright. Got it.
All right. And now the goblins that Brown recruited are going to.
Oh shit.
It's time for them to shine, you know?
They need a bit of warming up.
They're still a little bit like slow to the. I'm gonna put them all here as like one kind of group.
Like one mass of 3 goblins.
They still kind of come forward. One very sort of tentatively kind of like jabs a pointy stick into the side of one of the 5 goblins. It doesn't look like it was not a very hard stab, but it is a small goblin.
Soon they will feel the bloodlust.
All right, and oop. All right. So I'm gonna say Big Chief's back up. He's clubless. Pikachu, give me brawn and athletics to try and fight back against him trying to wrestle the club out of your hands. Take the Chief's club. That's my club. I make it myself from tree.
Oh no, my club.
Fuck.
He rips it out of your hands, and he's gonna get a free attack on you.
Oh shit.
Fuck, dude.
Which is only 2 damage. As he kind of rips it out of your hands, and it's sort of like he's holding it above his head, kind of off balance, but he kind of has the forethought to kind of shift his weight forward, so as he falls, the club falls into you.
All right.
And it is now Card Sharp's turn.
Card Sharp is gonna go for another void infused stab at the chief. He just pulls without even wincing, he just pulls the dagger out of his shoulder.
All right.
Is 6 still technically healthy? I can't remember.
5 is
five.
still 5 is still you're healthy until 4.
Okay, so that's my healthy card. And what was it? Melee.
Void melee.
No. You kidding me? Fresh deck too. Come on, please go easy on me, Dingle. God damn it.
Well, hey, the
Why?
rescue deck is stocked.
Well, no, I've got another one.
Oh, didn't you use your? Oh, was that the
I
last
just
deck?
started a
Okay.
new deck, man. I just shuffled.
You try to pull a cool action movie move of pulling the dagger very nonchalantly out of your shoulder. And as you do, you just feel this horrendous stabbing pain of just
Why? God damn it!
It hurts a lot to pull a metal dagger out of your shoulder, my man. Go ahead and take 1 more damage for me.
Fuck's sakes! Why am I so useless in this fight?
I mean, it's not like anyone else has done anything.
Dude, no one's done anything.
Thorben just blew himself up.
Thorben blew himself up, and Pikachu stole a club and then immediately had it stolen back and bonked on its head. You guys are...
Well, the goblins did something. They poked one of the other
Yeah.
goblins.
The 3 goblins who don't even want to be here are the only ones who've made a combat success.
That's great.
Alright, Thorben.
Oh, it's my turn again?
It's your turn. Before you do anything...
Do I have any of that water?
What water?
From the fucking lake we were at.
You gave the thing back to the priest, so I'm gonna say no.
Damn it.
Just give me a,
Burn ointment arrow.
Oh, you can use a burn ointment. I'll let you use a burn ointment arrow. to soothe and... Well, I was gonna make you do an action beforehand to see if you can, stop, drop, and roll the fire out.
I was about to say, stop, drop, and roll. I hold an arrow in my hands.
But if you want to just use your turn, I can bundle a heal into it with the burn ointment. If that's what you want to use for... But
Well,
that will
if you
be...
think- if you think I should stop, drop, and roll this turn, I get it.
Well,
I am on fire.
well, I'm basically framing it either stop, drop, and roll to try and put the fire out, and then take an action, or use the burn ointment arrow as your action because it would also heal you if you put the fire out with it.
Yeah, would that put the fire out? The burn ointment arrow?
Yeah, let's say there's a ton of fucking ointment and it douses the fire.
It probably explodes. Most of my arrows do. It's more fun that way.
But it explodes into ointment. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna say that's what you choose because that's a fun idea. Give me ranged in biology to shoot a burn ointment arrow at yourself.
Oh, shit, I only get half though.
That is true.
I get two here. Get two. Bop, bop. Ah. Ooh, I got burned by that one. You know what I'm saying?
I am sorry to say that's not gonna. It's let's say just so you're not burning while like unconscious. Let's say it puts it out, but not before you kind of pass out from the shock of being on fire for so long. You're gonna get rid of the fire just because that would be cruel to not, but you're still taking that 1 damage.
That's cool. That's cool.
So Brown's out until he makes his saving throw.
I fall off the stool.
That's right, you were on a stool this whole time.
Or what? The pile of ash that was formerly a stool.
Okay, so you guys have so now from the other goblins there's gonna be 5 damage incoming. Let's say 2 is gonna go to Pikachu, 2 to Card Sharp, and then let's say the goblin that got like stabbed is gonna try and like mess with the group of 3 goblins.
So 2?
Yeah, you guys are both taking 2 dodgeable.
Oh wait, 2 dodgeable. Okay. I had a dodge left.
All right. Pikachu, it's your turn now.
Kill them, Pikachu.
You're unconscious.
That was my dying words right there.
No,
Why not?
just.
I could have said that at any time.
But you didn't say it until you're after unconscious, so you don't get to say it now.
No, that was like a flashback to when I said it.
So with that flashback vividly in my mind, I'm gonna launch a general thunder blast, like just at the goblins around me, like the goblin group.
Okay.
Are they still treated like one entity then?
I'm treating them like one entity. Originally I wasn't, but I'm flipping for them as one entity, so I'm treating them as one entity now.
Is it Brawn Force?
Yes, Brawn Force magic.
Are you using the robe too?
Yeah, I have +1 after this. 3. Yeah, just
at least it wasn't a Joker.
I thought I had one left.
Well, you're not healthy, are you?
No, 8's my threshold.
All right. Let's say you take a. That's enough to take out 2 of them.
Sweet.
As they kind of just like get like singed by thunder and just sort of blasted backwards into some of the other unsprung traps. And now the friendly goblins are gonna go. Oh fuck.
Dude, these guys rule.
Dude. Yeah.
They just got inspired, you know.
Well, one of the goblins is kind of like, looking around. They kind of, I don't know, something just sort of clicks in these goblins' heads, and they just sort of surround it and just start start jabbing this goblin to death with the pointy sticks. And they're just like, they turn to you guys and they're like, wow, that's actually pretty easy.
I smile and give him a thumbs up.
You're unconscious.
No, you don't.
I get a flashback of Thorben telling me to smile and thumbs up, so I do that for him.
God damn it.
All right. Big Chief is gonna he's gonna lift his club like really high into the air and lose grip on it, and it falls right on his head.
Huh.
And jokered on 2 out of his 3 flips.
God damn it. Well, not god damn it, that's good.
And he's just sort of like, he's just kind of like wobbling a little bit as he kind of just like dropped a giant hunk of wood on his head. It's just kind of lying on the ground in front of his feet now. As it goes to Card Sharp.
A void hand crossbow forms in Card Sharp's hand as he stands over the chief. He just goes, "Say goodnight, chief."
All right, give me determine that was agility void, I believe.
Was that not a catchphrase?
Oh yeah, and
I
flip
can-
one
I can-
card per catchphrase.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
You
Thank
say it.
God. Thank God.
So that 3 successes for the actual attack.
Has the chief been hit by anything at all? I don't think
He hit
so,
himself.
right? Yeah, he hit himself just now, but did any of you guys hit him at all?
I know I didn't.
I don't think
No,
you guys
I
did.
didn't.
Oh.
So you shoot the chief right in the chest with this like void arrow, and he kind of like staggers back and like falls down. He's not dead, but he's sort of just like on the ground, just kind of like clutching his chest and wheezing. But
It still was a cool catchphrase, though.
it was
still worked.
very cool. All right, Thorben, flip one card for me.
Come on.
Thorben remains unconscious.
Oh no, I clicked away from the fucking playing cards room by accident.
Dang it.
The now pretty severely weakened goblins are gonna send 2 damage coming Pikachu's way as they kind of like surround you, mostly just to get away from the dude who just summoned a gun and start just sort of like and just start sort of like very clumsily beating at you with like maces that are with maces that are too big for them to properly wield. And as it goes to Pikachu's turn now.
Light him up, Pikachu.
I will say the big club is currently on the ground.
No one cannot be tempted by Big Club.
But wait, so are those goblins still like surrounding me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually gonna like spin around and like try and whack everyone around me with an iron tail.
Ooh.
Alright, I will say, since it doesn't have... Oh, also, I remembered something about your Iron Tail that I think we all forgot. I'm pretty sure at the end of the last campaign, I gave it an upgrade that let you, like, charge it with electricity and use your force magic to flip with it.
Oh shit! No, I
I'm
completely
almost
forgot
certain. I forgot about it too, but I was thinking of like upgrades to give you guys before the next like real session, and I was like, that one came to mind, and I was like, wait a minute, I definitely already gave Zedrin that.
that. You could have introduced that. I probably wouldn't even have noticed.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Oh. Okay.
I mainly wanted to bring it up here because since you don't have, if you're trying to hit both of these goblins, since this doesn't have extra target, you're going to like split your successes among them. Or I guess that doesn't really matter because they're one entity. Never mind.
God damn.
What
Sheesh.
goblins were you talking about, Dingle? I don't see any goblins.
Yeah,
No,
nobody.
Yeah, they don't exist.
You mean this red mist?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm gonna for that's what like
8.
8 successes.
I feel like Brick Frog just posted what Pikachu looks like right now. Iron Tail.
Basically.
No, yeah, Pikachu. You just like spin around in like an electrically charged like just like ball. And these goblins are reduced to paste. And it just fucking splatters everyone around everyone in the general area with blood.
I land and I say, I'll be taking my club now.
Ooh, catchphrase. Oh, my catchphrase. Oh, catchphrase. Oh, catchphrase.
Yeah. Give me a flip.
Oh, it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick.
You just sort of
Everyone is too horrified to hear that.
So the goblin big chief is sort of looking around at his like now completely dead tribe as he's sort of like clutching his grievous wound, and he just goes, you big people, you no kill me.
Fine, but don't bother this tribe ever again. They don't want to see your face around here. Graham.
He kind of like you can hear the sound of like gritting teeth. He's just but they weak. Why you side with weaklings? You should help me, big strong big chief.
It's not about being the strongest. It's about being the ones that are willing to do what's right. And you did nothing but bully them and steal their food. And they did what was right. So they put their minds to work, and now you don't even have a tribe left. So go on, get out of here.
You big people. So annoying. Alright, me go. And he kind of like he sort of like goes and he kind of like he starts to limp away, and then one of these goblins, I rolled to see if they did anything and they critted.
After that speech, goddammit.
I'm so happy right now. So proud.
So I'm gonna say, as he's like walking away, one of the goblins steps up and just fucking slams the stick into like the side of his like head, and it just like cracks the skull open from the side, and it just sort of falls to the ground with the impaled chief.
Holy shit.
And the goblin kind of looked up and he goes, I did good, right?
I mean, from a certain perspective, maybe.
All right.
You guys aren't gonna go, like... You're gonna go back to just hunting animals, right? Now that this has all been taken care of?
Probably.
I mean, that's the best I can ask for.
I'm gonna say Thorvin. No need to add undue stakes to this filler episode. Combat's over. You're back up with 1 health.
Guys, we have to get back. We have to save Radimus.
What's up, everybody? Did we murder all those small green people?
Yes, but we have to go save Radimus. Let's go. And Cardtrap's going to start running in the direction of the cave.
I think how many goblins were in that tribe?
We killed them all, man, didn't we?
You guys most certainly killed them all.
Yeah, I start limping slowly towards the other camp. I just got beat to shit. I got lit on fire.
I pick up the club and put it on my back like the Buster Sword, and start running.
All right,
Like the Buster Sword.
I'm gonna say you guys head over to the camp. You make it back, and kind of as you come in, you notice the goblins from the other group are kind of like milling about like in the camp, just kind of like setting things up, sort of like looking at the different like the huts and stuff. And as you guys kind of like after a while, after you guys kind of like breach it, Warty Ears comes up to you and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm so glad to see you 3 safe. Does that mean did you?"
The dum-dums
Yes.
are no more.
Oh, we killed
In
them
fact,
all.
it was one of your men that finished off the chief.
That's very surprising.
It's a bit of a mixed thing, but is our friend okay? Is our friend okay?
Ah, the one with the funny voice.
Yes.
And he kind of like
I don't
sort
think
of
his
calls
voice
it.
is funny.
He sort of calls him over, and Radimus kind of walks over and he goes, "Oh, hey guys, how's it going?"
Good. We helped stop the bad goblins. These are good goblins now.
Yeah, I sort of got the lowdown on that pretty quickly.
Wordy Ears.
Wordy Ears just kind of speaks up. He's like, he was very nervous when we came down when we came into the village. He kept putting his hands over his legs.
Woody Ears. I probably don't have to ask, but you're not going to ambush people on the road, right? Not like the other ones.
No, as long as the game is plentiful and we're left alone, I don't see. We don't have much need for the weapons and such that the others from our group mostly raided for. So, as long as we have enough food and we're left alone, I don't see any reason why we would need to raid caravans.
And I give you my word that no one will hear of where you guys are. You shall be left alone in this forest, in this cave.
It's not really a cave. I don't think I set that up very well. It's more just like a village.
Well, you're safe here. We won't tell anyone of your location.
Yeah, just don't start raiding anybody.
He just said they weren't.
Or we'll slaughter you. Sorry. What'd you say, Cardtrap? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Serious. Cardtrap is actually upset. Seriously, stop.
What?
Please. Please ignore him. Where he is.
I'll be back, and I'll help you out. We can really. I think there's a lot of quality of life improvements we can make for you little green folk. You know what I'm saying? I don't think goblins get enough love out here.
The point is, we'll be leaving for the time being.
I'm gonna start a high school out here for, maybe like a community center for at-risk goblin youths.
Well, I can tell you that the 4 of you are welcome here anytime. done us a really big favor.
Hey, it was literally our pleasure.
No, it wasn't. It's kind of weird. All right, let's leave.
All right. I'm gonna say, so you guys kind of you say goodbye and you sort of head off back to the head on off back to the little caravan.
Is
asked-
the wheel arrow still there so we can just leave already?
I'm gonna say the wheel arrow is sort of lying in the front. Radimus is very good with wagon repairs, so he
Let's
just
leave
like
him to it.
he very quickly kind of like takes the wheel off the arrow and like affixes it the normal way.
I asked
Well-
Radimus if they nibbled his legs at all.
No, I mean, they did seem like they were actually getting hungry at one point, but then it looked like the big guys, one of them started yelling and they just all sort of ran up.
Yeah, that's when we got them all to fall into a trap. Killed every last one of them. Very
Well-
brutally, actually.
Well, I'm just glad I didn't get eaten. And now we can continue on our way.
Yeah, our merry journey.
Yep.
So, as you guys all kind of like make your way back onto the wagon, and Radimus kind of like starts back up. And as the wagon is kind of going, it's starting just a little bit. Say Charles kind of like rouses himself and just goes, "Huh? What happened?" Cut the credits. Next time on RPG.
That was a really good session. Very brutal.
You guys made that session. You guys made that final encounter incredibly brutal.
I mean, we tried to leave the big chief alive, and then the MVPs came and.
I think it ended in a very appropriate way in that regard.
Those guys, including the crit, they got a total of like 6 successes over. They got a total of 6 successes over 12 flips. They had an incredible hit rate.
They're powerful.
Well, I gotta head out.
Before hero points?
Oh, hero points. Yeah. Let's go. Sorry, I got called. Let's do this.
All
Sorry,
right.
I got called away to something important. So.
Well then you can go first then.
Hero point to Pikachu for the Iron Tail, and hero point to Thorben.
All right.
I understand completely. Don't worry.
All right. Just let me know what my hero.
I just realized we do 2 hero points and there's
Mhm.
3 of you.
Yep.
So
do we all just have 3 then?
I think you all have 4
Okay.
because I think I'm gonna give you guys 2 again because I gave you 2 last time. And I don't think it's really fair to shed that hero point off of you just because you were here for a one-off session.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And I guess just let Zell keep his.
Yeah. And Zell's just gonna. Well, I mean, Zell. I mean, technically, Zell did not end a session, so he doesn't reset his hero points to 0.
Yeah.
Also, I think we should make him anti-Joker just because he isn't here, so he won't even realize that he's the anti-Joker.
Alright.
I think that's funny.
I'm a fan.
All right, let's do that. Good shit.
All right.
All right.
And that's that. I hope you guys.
Nice.
I hope you guys enjoyed this one-off session.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad we gave you a reason to do something with goblins. I feel like you've wanted to do that for a while.
I have one.
And I feel like you
one-
enjoyed yourself with this.
Oh
I
man,
have wanted to do something with goblins for a while. I
I'm
was really
sorry
glad I got this too because I was like, oh man, I'm sending them right to the dwarves. I'm not going to be able to do goblin shit.
yeah, I'm sorry that you've been waiting to do goblins for a while, because I'm kind of got after D&D, you know, like in my own personal Dungeons and Dragons experiences, I've had good relations with goblins. I've got a lot of good experiences with the goblins. You know, one of the first NPC friends we ever had was a goblin. But at the same time, I've watched Goblin Slayer, you know, and I just hate goblins. I just think they're nasty little creatures and they should all die. So I'm like constantly conflicted between the two extremes, you know. Do I love them or do I hate them?
I did want to very quickly in the beginning like disarm the waking up in a goblin hut after getting knocked out scenario, because I'm like, man, if any of these guys have seen Goblin Slayer, they're sweating. I need to immediately disarm this and just want to talk to them.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a 1-2 on that one. Like I like goblins, but I've also watched Goblin Slayer, so
I like goblins both as like little like bumbling little funny dudes, and I like goblins as like hellspawn. I think they're very versatile. I think they're very versatile in that regard because they fit both of those roles very well.
yeah. That's also kind of why it got a little murdery, you know. It's just feels very goblin to me to just murder them in the most brutal way possible. It's like what they're meant for.
Murder them and teach them how to murder each other.
Fucking little green bastards. That was so fun, though. That was very fun.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Was that like the most gruesome session of
No.
RPG?
No, definitely not.
It's not the first time we've committed genocide.
That's a first for everything, right?
And the first for this group was Space Denny's.
Yep.
This is the Space Denny's of
Yeah, this is becoming a trend. Every filler episode, we're
Yeah,
committing
what?
genocide.
Yeah, you know what? That's right.
Wait. I only got 30 minutes into Space Denny's.
Oh,
Do I
I'm
need
so
to watch
sorry.
the rest of it this bad?
Absolutely.
Like, isn't this good?
Oh, you definitely. Honestly,
Oh my god.
here's the thing. We're not professional players. So
I know.
I very rarely say like, oh, you definitely need to watch this thing we did. Space Denny's came out so well in like every regard, in my opinion, that I would legitimately recommend that.
No,
to
I mean,
people.
no. Watching your RPG is definitely more fun than watching even Critical Role. You know, it's more enjoyable to listen to my friends playing the game. I just don't always feel like it. You know.
I would if the mood strikes you, I would. I think Space Denny's is like I think Space Denny's is as a group our best work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I set up some pins for them and they just fucking knocked them down. It worked out so well.
I just can't help but think we could have killed more goblins. You know?
All right, I'm gonna head out.
I think I will. I think I will as well. I actually have to get up for work tomorrow.
I know that was some good shit. I had a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Keep it real.
Boys.